All right, let's get into this. Sometimes a book grabs a reader so intensely, they don't just tell their friends about it, they basically rewrite it as a movie. And that's exactly what we're looking at today. This is a deep dive into a fan's incredibly passionate, cinematic vision for Abigail Owen's novel, The Things Gods Break. And you can just feel the passion right from the jump. The fan who put this whole thing together, they're not just a casual reader. They live in this story. For them, it's a narrative that, as they put it, wrecks me in the best way, every single time. So yeah, this is way more than just an analysis. It's a total love letter. So what's the story that gets someone this fired up? Well, at its heart, you've got a world where the gods are literally failing. Their home is collapsing, and our hero story doesn't kick off with some noble quest. Nope, it begins with a terrifying, world-shattering fall from grace. I mean, this pitch just throws you right into the deep end. Picture this for an opening shot. Olympus, the home of the gods, is literally crumbling to pieces. And before you can even catch your breath, our heroes get sucked down into the deepest, darkest pit in mythology, Tartarus, the prison of the Titans. The stakes are just stratospheric from frame one. Now, at the very center of this cosmic mess is Lyra. She's a thief, a survivor, and she's carrying this magical curse that's basically defined her whole life by branding her as unlovable. But here's the kicker. That same curse, the thing that's in her blood, is also the literal key to a power that could break the world. And then you've got Hades, and listen, forget any cartoon version you've ever seen. This guy is a complex, brooding god of the underworld. He's this dark, shadowy disaster king who desperately wants to protect Lyra, but he's trapped because his very nature, his divine touch, actually causes her pain. He's her protector and potentially her destroyer all at once. And to make sure all this godly drama doesn't get too heavy, we have Boone. He's Lyra's best friend, the mortal one. He's her anchor to humanity. And that description, nervously brave, it's just perfect, right? In this world of crumbling gods and ancient monsters, Boone is the loyal, funny, human heart of the entire story. All right, so now we enter Act 1, the descent into darkness. This is where the pitch really starts laying the groundwork, establishing the central mystery of this cosmic prison and just cranking up the tension for everyone trapped inside. And you can just feel the epic scale of it all in the fans' writing. It paints this incredibly vivid, apocalyptic picture. This isn't just some small problem. The whole universe is literally groaning. It's all coming apart at the seams. So the first act sets up this completely impossible situation. Lyra and Boone are trapped, right? But it's all about her. The giant imprisoned titans are calling out to her. The ancient locks of the prison are humming in sync with her pulse. And Hades is trying to get her away from it all, but he's obviously hiding something big. And then it all blows up when a single drop of her blood accidentally opens the first lock. Game on. And that one little moment, it changes everything. This isn't about escaping a prison anymore. That drop of blood is basically the starting pistol for a full-scale war between the gods and the titans. And Lyra, the unlovable thief, is suddenly the most important and probably the most endangered person in the entire cosmos. So then we hit Act 2, Locks and Betrayals. And if you thought the first act was intense, this is where things get really nasty. The fight stops being about just physical survival and becomes a psychological war, where every truth gets twisted and you can't trust anyone. And this is the choice Lyra is facing. It's impossible. On one side, you have the gods demanding she save their world by sealing the Titans. On the other, the Titans are whispering in her ear, promising her the one thing she wants more than anything, an end to her curse. She's stuck between these two giant manipulative powers, and both of them want to use her. Man, this line from Hades just perfectly nails the kind of fight she's in. The Titans' biggest weapon isn't some magical power, it's truth. They lie by telling you the part that hurts the most. They dig up your deepest insecurities, your worst memories, and they use them like a weapon to break you from the inside. And the secrets just keep stacking up. We find out the Olympian gods are watching all this happen like it's some kind of reality TV show for them. Then the Titans drop a huge bombshell that connects Lyra directly to a secret from Hades' past. I mean, with everyone lying and manipulating her, the only thing she can hold on to, her only real anchor, is her mortal friend Boone. And that brings us to the absolutely explosive finale, Act 3. This is where every secret, every lie, every impossible choice comes crashing together. The fan calls this section Love, Sacrifice, and Breaking, and trust me, it lives up to that title. So here we are. After a lifetime of being treated like a pawn by literal gods, Lyra is finally cornered. Both sides make their final play, and the fate of everything rests on her next move. So what does the unlovable pawn do when it's finally her turn? And just look at these options. They're not options, they're ultimatums. The gods scream, save the world. The titans whisper, save yourself. Her best friend Boone is willing to sacrifice himself, yelling, take me instead. And then there's Hades, who basically says, choose me, and we can watch it all burn down together. There's no right answer here. So what does she do? She rejects the entire game. She breaks it. When that final lock shatters, the power doesn't free the titans. It obliterates them. And that sends a shockwave through the cosmos that drains the gods of their power and turns Olympus to dust. In the middle of all that chaos, her curse breaks, leaving her mortal and, for the first time in her life, totally free. And this line from Hades just says it all. It's not angry, it's just stunned. It's this moment of devastating awe. Lyra didn't pick a side, she ended the war by destroying the very idea of sides. She didn't just break the rules, she broke the gods themselves. So, what's the big takeaway here? Why does this story hit so hard? Well, according to the fan who laid all this out, it's because this is way more than just a fantasy story. It's an anthem of defiance. The whole point, the big idea, is that this is a story about being trapped by impossible choices. When every single path the world gives you leads to disaster, the only true way to survive is to choose yourself, to carve out a third path, even if it means tearing down the world that tried to trap you in the first place. And that's the ultimate message, isn't it? Real freedom, for Lyra, didn't come from picking a new boss or the lesser of two evils. It came from destroying the entire system of power that was built to control her. She doesn't just win the name, she flips the whole board over and walks away. I want to end on this line from the fan's pitch, because it just connects this massive mythological story back to something so deeply human and real. Lyra's final defiant act becomes this huge metaphor. It's a powerful middle finger to every curse we've ever been told about ourselves. It's this idea that sometimes the only way to really be free is to break the very things that told you you were broken.